Mr. Hudson, if we have individuals to sign on after, just keep continuing to drop the sign in the chat for us.
Yes.
And this is our annual Title I meeting where we like to share information with our parents concerning academic achievement, as well as evidence-based practices and how we actually go about using our funds for Title I. All right, and of course, I'm Ms. Brown. We have Mr. Hudson on, our parent liaison. And of course, we have Ms. Marion, one of our assistant principals. She's on to help us move through the PowerPoint smoothly. And we have a new vision for Clayton County Public Schools that operates directly with Jonesboro High School. And the vision of Jonesboro High School is to prepare all graduates to have skills to pursue and accomplish college, post-secondary training, and or career opportunities in order to live and compete successfully in a global society. And that post even means military for us. We have several of our students that do join the military due to our ROTC affiliation. And our mission for Jonesboro High School is to empower our scholars to achieve academic, professional, and personal goals by providing equitable access and experiences that build skills in literacy, creativity, critical thinking, and collaboration. And our Title I plan is focused around strategic goal 3, and that is 3 and 6, to create an environment that promotes active engagement, accountability, and collaboration of all of our stakeholders to maximize student achievement. And then goal 6 is to recruit and maintain highly qualified and effective staff members. Our next slide. The expected outcomes for Title I is to explain the purpose of the use of Title I and Title I funds, and also to build capacity for faculty and staff regarding parent and family engagement. And of course, the No Child Left Behind Act was actually introduced and supported in 2001 and was signed into law by President George W. Bush in January of 2002. And it was named for the most recent update to the Elementary and Secondary Education Act of 1965. The No Child Left Behind Law, or Act, which grew out of concern that the American education system was no longer internationally competitive, significantly increased the federal role in holding schools responsible and accountable for the academic process or progress of all students. Next slide. So now we are at the Every Student Succeeds Act, and that is, and it was actually signed by President Obama in 2015. That was in December. And this bipartisan measure reauthorizes the 50-year-old Elementary and Secondary Education Act, the nation's national education law and longstanding commitment to equal opportunity, again, for all students, not just for those that may be high achieving, but it's for all students. And some of the supplemental materials that we actually have for our students here, and not only at the high school level, but also at the middle school and elementary levels, technology labs, in which we now they're not so popular because all of our students have their own Chromebooks. Also, the wireless laptop cards, we do still have 1 or 2 of those in the building for students that may have an issue with their Chromebook, or maybe they left theirs at home. The iPod cards, as well as smart tables, those are more so for the elementary level students. And then the support response systems for a student. Teachers give these response kits out to students and they can do a quick check for understanding whether the answer may be a multiple choice. They can tell the teacher what they think just from the lesson for that day. And that gives the teacher a clear understanding of who and how many students may have understood what was said in class. And if not, the teacher has an opportunity to review that information with the students the following day. Class libraries, whether they are books that similar to those in our media center, but enough for the entire class. Parental resources, and those will be found in Mr. Hudson's office. And then instructional supplies for students and teachers. We have quite a bit of paper, we have pencils, anything that a student will need here at Jonesboro, we basically can supply it for them because we are considered a Title I school in a Title I district. All right, instructional support. Schools can use their Title I funds to reduce class sizes by hiring additional teachers and or paraprofessionals. This is something that we would love to do, but unfortunately, there are times that we cannot even hire the number of teachers that we actually need. So finding additional teachers sometimes becomes a problem. So we are fully staffed right now with an exception of 2 teachers, one in the area of math and the other one in the area of science as of right now. Title I funds, funded staff work directly with classroom teachers to support at-risk students. And the Office of Federal Programs coordinates tutorial services for students who need additional support. And then additional monitoring of these staff members will come from our Office of Federal Programs to ensure compliance. So like we still may at the school level observe these teachers. However, at the federal level, they come by and do the exact same thing. And sometimes it's a little bit more in depth than what we would do with a regular teacher. What is a Title I school? Title I of the Elementary and Secondary Education Act of 1965 is amended to read as follows. Title I funds aim to bridge the gap between low-income students and other students. The United States Department of Education provides supplemental funding to local school districts to meet the needs of the at-risk student as well as the low-income students. And Title I is the nation's oldest and largest federally funded program, according to the United States Department of Education. And how does Jonesboro spend their Title I funds? Basically, again, through supplies, whether it's paper, pencil. A lot of students are in need of boards for science fair, the 3-prong boards, as well as their Chromebooks, which they have now. Each and every student has a new Chromebook. Personnel, this is additional teachers when we can, but it's also individuals like Mr. Hudson, our parent liaison, as well as other paras that we may have in the building, and one of our instructional coaches. It also provides professional learning books for our teachers, conferences, but at this time, unfortunately, we're not able to really travel due to COVID. Parent Resource Center, in which if you have an opportunity, I know right now we're not really having visitors in our building, but Mr. Hudson has a nice parent center for our parents to stop by if they need assistance. He's there for them as well as our entire administrative staff. And then professional learning for our teachers to make sure that they stay abreast of all the trends that are taking place in the U.S. at this time and even competing outside of the U.S. And what is required by law for parent involvement? Notification of highly qualified teacher status. So if your child has a teacher in front of them that's not highly qualified, they're not certified in the area in which they are teaching, it is for us to make sure that the parent understands and knows who's in front of their child each and every day. what credentials actually are. They must have a 4-year degree, and hopefully they would have something that's similar to what they're actually teaching. So if they're a science teacher and they have a degree in science or in biology, but they haven't passed the GACE in that specific area, the parent's right to know who's in front of their child. Notification of the school status. We have done extremely well over the last few years, and our status is we're basically where we should be, and encouraging our students to do better each and every day in their classwork and homework, which will make them reflect a little bit differently or better on our end of course test. And then the 1% of the system allocation must be reserved for our parent involvement. And so Mr. Hudson has identified what the needs are from the surveys that our parents may have taken. And that information can be found anytime you need that. And again, the resources are found in our parent center. All right. What opportunities are there for parents and families to be involved at Jonesboro High School and in Clay County? We offer a variety of workshops to assist our parents with training to help their child to become more successful academically. We also have an opportunity for our parents to be able to log on and know their information for the portal, which is an Infinite Campus. Training is provided for our parents as well. And then you can feel free to give us a call or question about anything that you may have heard today in the past that you may have concerns about, or how we can actually help our parents. In the past, we have had our parent universities, and that's an opportunity for our parents to just know more about our school and what we offer and how they can assist their child. And Mr. Hudson does that, as well as other parent liaisons that are in our cluster. So our feeder schools, of course, are Arnold Elementaries. We have some students from Jackson Elementary, and then we have students that come to our from middle school, from M.D. Roberts, Jonesboro Middle, and a few from Kendrick Middle as well, and Mundy's Mill. And so, and then our high school, of course, is Jonesboro, but the parent liaisons get together and they let their parents know who will be hosting the sessions. And so those are trainings that will be forthcoming if there is any need. Okay, parent and family decision-making opportunities happens through school council, and we will have our first school council meeting after we return from our break. The Title I survey, we give that in the fall and in the spring for our parents. And then the school parent compact revision, as well as the teacher parent conferences. And we are still hosting our conferences, even though they are considered virtual at this time. But if there's a conference that you would like to have with a teacher, in the past, we've had those after school in our cafeteria, and you would have an opportunity to meet with all teachers. However, now we try to do those during the teacher's planning period or after school, where we can get all of them together if they are available. But it's always a good thing to know the parent's email address. Send them an email if you have a concern. A lot of times things can be resolved that way. However, we also ask that if it's not, and if you're communicating with the teacher and you're not getting a response, please let me know, and we'll reach out, as well as Mr. Hudson. We'll reach out to those teachers so that they can get a conference going with you. Oh, of course, we have a quote of the day: learning is an experience, everything else is just information. So that's from Albert Einstein. And again, if you have any questions or concerns about anything that's taking place here at Jonesboro, remember, I try to do a call out twice a week on Sundays as well as Wednesdays, and they come out around 8:15 to 8:30 p.m. Just making sure the parents are aware of what's taking place here in our building. All right. Do we have any questions?